guy goes to the doctor because he's having problems because he says he can see into the future. The doctor says, "How long have you had this condition?" The guy says, "Since next Tuesday."
Okay. Well, on that happy note, welcome back. As we get ready to dive into tonight's session, we pick up with a handful of you, most of you, still within the Tales, or the Timberland of Tales, the forest that lies behind Miyoshi Village, where you had accepted a quest to find a certain flower known as the Myth Flower that lies somewhere in the forest. Upon entering, you encountered the local wild man, who turned out to be not too bad of a person. A little rough around the edges, but overall he seemed like he was willing to help you guys. So, not having too much knowledge with the forest, you kind of temporarily partnered up with him as a guide. He told you that he had a rough idea of perhaps where this flower would be. So, following him through the forest, you eventually went deeper until you came across what appeared to be his hut, where he had been living. And then beyond that, an encounter with some spiders that were lurking in the trees. There were a handful of large ones that seemed to stand from range and attack with webs to disrupt you, lock you in place, restrain you. There were smaller ones that would then grab onto you and take you somewhere. These phase spiders. Theo, probably the best person to have happened to in that moment of time, as you were taken and brought to this lair somewhere deep within the forest of a spider about 10 times the size of the other ones.
Big fuck.
Big spider.
Big.
After successfully passing your wisdom save to not get killed in a phantasmal fashion, you then misty stepped out of your restraints as far the fuck away as humanly possible. To which then 1,000 gold pieces, no, 1,200 gold pieces, well spent.
1,000.
Was it 1,000?
I only paid 1,000.
Yeah, you're talking down.
She
That's
wanted
right, yeah.
1,200.
1,000 gold pieces well spent, as earlier in the day you had purchased a potion of tree stride, which, in this moment, you quickly popped open the cap, chugged the potion, and into the trees you went, spending the next handful of minutes figuring out roughly where you were and kind of sort of navigating yourself back to the village. Where there, you wait at the inn, doing what you're doing, while the party, unknowing where you're at.
No, we do. Sending.
Well, we do now. We
Yes.
didn't at the time.
Until Nox used the sending spell to communicate with you, where eventually you found out he's okay, he's back at the inn, a little shaken up, and something about a big-ass spider.
He about shattered Nox's brain, though.
Yes, because he screamed.
Yes.
So the rest of you are
Yes.
still in the forest, deciding whether to leave and get Theo and come back, potentially giving an opportunity for the creatures of the forest to rearm themselves.
And isn't Drax currently tied up?
I had the same question.
Or will you stay and continue the hunt for the flower now that the current threat is at ease?
I believe I untied him after making a very off-color joke.
So you're saying where we're at is, the question is, should we stay or should we go now? If we stay, then it will be trouble. If we go, it will be double.
But only when you come back.
Oh my god. But yes, that is the question at hand.
Okay.
Well, should we say?
I mean,
My friends. And
Percy's in good
Mr.
shape.
Wildman,
as far as hit points and
so
stuff.
is me.
I'm only down 14, so I'm good to go for now.
hit points wise, I'm only down like 6. Spell wise, I have like 2 3rd-level spell slots left and like 4 level 2nd levels. So, magic wise, I'm looking fit and tiny. Health wise, I'm doing fantastic. However, I don't know if I would be able to revive you guys if you die. So, unless I just keep my last 2 3rd-level spells available. So I can just use my 2nd levels, and then we can go from there.
I want to keep hunting in the woods. I mean, we're already probably about halfway there, so.
Maybe.
Cool. And our characters don't know, like, we know there's a big ass spider, but we don't know where there's a
Oh,
big ass
Percy
spider.
just thinks that Theo's just nuts. That it can't possibly be that big of a spider.
Percy's right, but he's also wrong.
So Nox is fine with
Those spiders were big, but they weren't that scary.
Nox is finally looking for the flower, however, should we encounter any more trouble? Well,
We may be in trouble.
we might,
I mean, we still have Satoru with us as well, right now.
This is true.
that is
Crazy monk druid man.
Oh no, that puts me so much at ease.
This isn't Pathfinder, you'll be fine.
It should not be much fun. Where there are spiders, there are flowers.
And none of these spiders were the ones that I needed the fangs from, correct?
I have 2 giant spider fangs, but it's not the fangs for the function that you wanted.
I guess we can.
Okay.
I'm good with staying in here. You!
What did I do? Okay.
Literally nothing.
Yeah, well.
That's the
Other
point.
than hurt yourself.
Yeah. This is true.
Don't forget you have wild inspiration.
Yeah, I got it on here. Hopefully this time I don't go insane.
Let us hurry. Or returns and
Yeah, before those things come back.
it's
Oh wait, we killed all of them, didn't we? Before more of those things show up.
kill the ones that we see.
There might be more.
Yes.
There's probably.
Let's get moving.
So he will roll survival check here. Got a 23.
That's pretty good.
So I need everybody except you to roll a stealth check for me.
That's not so bad.
I believe myself is made a disadvantage.
Yes, armor.
Okay.
Um,
We're doing an average of the group here.
So you're telling me the better I do, the better it helps the group.
Yes. Yes.
I rolled a 16 for a 19.
I rolled a 12 for a 23.
I rolled a 7 for a 6.
I rolled a 16 for a 19.
And Star rolled a 17 for a 21. So
Wow.
Nox, your clanky armor is
Correction, I rolled a 7 and a 6, so technically I have to take
Less-
all those rolls of 6.
less clanky than usual as the group kind of is moving together quickly but silently through the woods here. And as you gaze around a corner, you can see off down as Sataru holds up his hands to kind of stop everyone, and then he points over. You can see along the trees towards the back that there is something that is moving along the trees. Its body is long, winds down, goes across the ground and comes up to a tree, goes down, and its body is in motion, moving, and you see reflective scales kind of bouncing in the light as it continues moving in a direction.
Hey, Soren, is that one of those snakes that has like scales of camouflage?
I think so.
Does it sound purple? Purple worm.
It is a exceptionally large one.
That's fine. I'm just
That alone.
He does not appear to have heard us or seen us. If we wait,
I can never hear that.
Perhaps.
The lady at the apothecary said that we could get discounts on potions if we bring her some scales from it.
No, Percy.
Can I look up at the trees and see if I can see any shade arbor or anything? Those other flowers that she mentioned?
sure. Do you know what shade art looks like? Forget.
Flowers that grow on trees. Is all she said. Perception?
Yes.
That is a 15 for a dirty 20.
15? Or 20, I guess.
As you are looking around, there isn't much that you see. You don't see anything.
Okay. It was worth a shot.
So Toru, are those snakes immune to poison?
I don't know.
I can look for shed scales after it's gone.
I will grab them.
If they're not immune to poison, I could do 11d6 damage with one hit.
That's all you hit.
You doubt, Percy.
I've got to read this.
I can. I just don't always get my attacks off.
How much damage you plan to do with those 11d6?
No, that's
This is true we're talking about.
yeah, true. So like probably around like
15?
19.
So let's look for shed scales.
It's gone.
That sounds like a better idea.
This is against what Percy wants to do. He's like the kid that like doing the pee-pee dance. He's like,
It's getting fidgety.
yes, like
Sit here and wait. Eventually, the motion of the slithering body kind of comes to a stop. And raised eyebrows, you all kind of look around, and the scales start kind of hazing in and out as they turn what looks to be like bark. As you saw it when it was moving, and now it has become, if you did not know it was there, you would not know it was there. It is stealthed against the tree.
Interesting.
it's turned on its cloaking device. What if the Romulans know?
Have it in the stealth system.
Sator kind of turns over his shoulder and looks to Percy, who's kind of bouncing, rocking back and forth on his heels, and then he looks to the rest of
Crossbow in one hand, his other hand's like in his pocket on a vial of wyvern poison.
you. Look like you are silent, upright. You good at moving unnoticed.
We all want to try to take that thing out, but everybody else says no, so I'm not going to. Even though I think we should.
The wisest
Yeah.
warriors, they can choose their battles so they can live to fight another day.
So we must pick and choose. You may pick. He points. And now that the snake creature, serpent creature, has camouflage, you can see around the base of this tree these little flowers blooming up.
Percy, flowers. We can always come back and get the snakes.
How are we gonna get the flowers if he's right there?
That's why he said you sneak up and grab it.
So you're telling me I can't attack this thing, but I can be bait for it to attack me? No. If I'm going up to get the flowers, I'm attacking it. Those are your two choices. Walk away, or I shoot it. Or one of the others of you can go get the flowers.
I'm fine with walking away. He needs those flowers, though. Do they only grow here, or do they grow in other places? They're hard to find. This is the first one we found, and this one we can get back to Theo.
Oh, look, it's Satoru. Are those the flowers we're looking for?
The white one.
Percy is going to take out his vial of wyvern poison and coat, I believe it's enough to coat 6 pieces of ammunition.
I really don't want to fight a snake after getting my world rocked pretty hard by those spiders.
Don't you can't fight either.
Doesn't say. I think it's 1 weapon or 3 pieces of ammunition.
I also just want to mention that you've seen it scale across two trees in roughly 10 foot of length, and you haven't seen its head or its tail yet.
This thing is huge.
The head is like right behind us.
It probably is.
Just waiting to see what the fuck we're going to
In
do.
fact, its like tongue is probably just lipping at the back of Percy's head.
No, it'd be Drax is the tallest. Percy takes comfort in the fact that he is the shortest of the group. In this picture.
I don't have pass without.
Not by much.
I don't think I've got pass without a trace taken. So.
Otherwise, you could just give bless or guidance to Kai, and she can try and run up there and get it. She's got a +5 to stealth, but no, +3 to stealth.
+3 as well.
3. So it's enough to coat 3 of my crossbow bolts. Assuming that it's, I don't know if it is or not.
It would have to be guidance. And then I would have to cast it at.
Guidance is a cantrip.
Oh, right, it is.
I think I'm happy to be in the bath.
I think that thing's that I can summon if things do go south.
Yeah, but I'd rather not burn the forest down.
Just think.
I don't have anything that breathes fire.
Just think.
You have the wyvern.
As long as you do damage to it, you could have a giant camouflage snake.
This is true. This is very true.
Risk versus reward. The risk is way higher than this figurative reward.
Potential.
However, we can make it a point of reference to come back later.
Is there any other place where the flowers might grow?
Perhaps.
I can cast guidance if we want to risk the stealth. Because it's either we fight this or there's a higher probability we could find something else. I'm too tired to do the Nox voice, so we're gonna have to just bear with me right now.
Percy's going to hide, relatively speaking, like by the base of a tree.
Okay.
With his crossbow, ready to, if he sees the head, if somebody sneaks up, that he's going to be ready to shoot the head. It's a nat 20 for a 31. They're like, where'd Percy go?
Percy can't
Did the
even
snake eat him?
Percy can't even see himself.
And that's even without using the invisibility potion.
Mm-hmm. Well, I figure if it's a snake, it's gonna have like blind sense.
I
Remember
can
sense.
cast guidance on you. Because bless is for ability.
Plus, it's for attack rolls and saving
As you
throws.
are all kind of sitting here debating what to do, you start to hear like the slow creaking of trees and bark, just kind of echoing as various creatures within the forest are moving. Whether it's more spiders or the monkeys or other creatures that you do not know about. It seems the forest is not waiting.
Guidance. I've got guidance prepared.
I think it's a cantrip, you always have it prepared.
Well, I got the guidance.
When you went to bed, it's just a giant night crawler.
That's kind of
I guess I'm gonna try it.
Pokes its head out, has a top hat on, it's like, good day.
Has a monocle. That's her first joke.
I immediately sacrificed both of my high level spell slots just to obliterate that thing.
Alright,
You need all damage.
I guess. With the guidance. That's in 18. On a stealth check.
So, what are you doing?
I just want to get as close as I can to try and like grab some of the flowers that we need and put them in whatever package
Or
we've
you
got.
just grab them and you just slowly back away and put them in your pack when you're safe distance.
Well, yeah, like grab, back up.
So,
Because I can also move really, really fast.
We get in trouble, just step out the window, fucker, and then we just start running.
Right?
So, as you are making your approach, you're quietly, as quiet as you can, kind of moving one step at a time, closer towards this tree. As you're about 15 feet away, you start holding your breath. As you know that you're close. You have lost sight of where it's at, but you know where you last saw it. You get a little bit closer to the tree. Around the base, there are hard to, from a distance, from where you guys were looking at, it was hard to see kind of exactly what all was around here. 'Cause from the description that you were given, they grow somewhat in isolation and not necessarily in like large patches. It's why they're rare and hard to find. And as you're getting a little bit closer, and it's like this, almost like this bloom of them, it kind of, you raise an eyebrow to it. And finally, as you kind of make the last approach and get within 5 feet, there is, in the center of the base of the tree, one that is kind of sticking, and it's got a curved arch to it. The center of it, after looking at it, you can easily identify as, with the purple center and the white petals that go around it. This is the flower you're looking for, but around it, things that look like flowers, now that you are up close, you realize they are eggs. The bark on the tree that you're right next to tightens. You hear it. Heartbeat in your ears.
Grab the flower. Just kind of above the eggs, like not even just the flower.
Make me either a nature check to attempt to kind of ascertain where you need to pick this thing, or sleight of hand. Which one are you doing?
Doesn't matter.
Which one did you attempt?
Nature with a +5, but I got now 1.
As you're reaching for it, your hand is like
I've been holding my breath for so long.
super
I'm like,
shaky, and you grab hold of it, but you go to kind of pinch it, and at the same time, you hear the creaking of the bark, and you feel like something is slithering around you, and kind of in this hasted panic, your pinch turns into a full hand grab, and you rip this thing by its roots out of the ground, away from the tree. In your hand, you got it. You are unsure how delicate your removal was. But
I have it.
you seem to have it.
Roots and all.
Can I step the wind to just using my staff to kind of pole vault to that extra jump, since my jump is doubled?
Make me a stealth check.
14.
14.
Quick question. If you're moving stealthily, is your movement not halved?
Technically, but with Step of the Wind, it basically
It's monk shit.
Step of the wind doubles my movement.
they cancel.
So
Yeah, they cancel each other out.
Okay.
So, you grab this. You're making a retreat. Get the 30 feet back to the party
I'm 15 feet away.
from where you started,
Ish.
ish. And you see Ollie now around you. Yellow eyes just start to opening within the darks of the trees. As multiple bodies begin to droop out of branches in long, slithery fashions, and they keep going.
Is this like a hydra? I did say I held an action to, if I saw a head, I would shoot.
You've seen eyes. You haven't seen. I mean, technically, you've seen some of their bodies as they begin hanging out of trees. Star kind of looks around. We should go.
Yep.
Very fast.
Yep. Grab and Percy, let's go. We're leaving.
I will pick Percy up and take off with him.
You have no idea where he's at.
Oh crap, that's right.
I'm hidden very well.
When in doubt,
So,
we can be
however-
2 party members behind.
Satoru turns and he starts going. He is about to start booking it.
I was immediately
I'm holding
following
until
that.
everybody is like, once everybody else is,
'Cause you
then
can-
I will go last.
Because you can cunning action to dash.
Okay. Well, if we're running, I'm gonna create a lot of noise. But
They already know
You know
we're
what you should do?
Satoru's doing
And you're
a dump
running?
run.
Spirit Guardians?
Actually, that's not half bad idea. Just in case.
that's
What are you doing?
that would put me in one spell slot.
I told you, I'm holding my
Yeah.
position until everybody else gets gone, and then
Yeah,
I will.
no, we are leaving. We
Yeah,
are
yeah.
going.
Bye.
You're leaving now.
Adios.
Peace, bro.
Okay.
I am
So
putting my wonderful frame to use, and I am just
we
booking it.
are going
Chase
to
sequence.
enter into a chase scene here.
Hey, we've done those before.
I bet he does this.
Yeah, it's going to be slightly differently. So each of you that is here, including Satoru, are going to need to use, similar to when you do other like skill check events, going to pick a skill, and you are going to tell me how you're going to use that skill to elude being caught.
Yeah,
So
I'm gonna use a flex.
you will each have to do this twice to escape. You cannot use the same skill back to back. And in addition to that, it cannot be of the same modifier either. So if you use a dexterity skill for one, The next check has to be something different.
Solid.
Oh, perfect.
So,
I'm down with
I got
this.
this.
so
I love
I'm
Troy.
in the
I
book
love
now.
Troy's
I
chase
have-
sequence, so
Yeah,
I'm
three-
really fine with this.
3 failures to split between all of you as a group.
Oh, God, no.
Gross.
Okay. I'm ready.
So, well, so we'll start with you,
I'm
Drex.
gonna use deception.
Okay.
To fake my movements to throw off anything that's whatever's chasing
Oh,
me.
you running a juke.
Okay.
But a +7.
Okay. Just roll deception check.
Oh, okay.
15. That's a pass.
Ooh.
So, as you begin turning and running, you use some of your magic and you send out just like a small illusion of some small animal that you've seen just kind of running in the opposite direction of the way that you bolt. And it gets about 10 feet away from you, and from one of the corners of the trees, you see this large serpent head reach out and reach and strike as its head goes crashing into the ground, kind of spatters dirt and dust up a little bit. But that one seems to have been bamboozled as you continue making your escape. Nox.
Acrobatics to dodge over fucking tree roots and shit so I don't eat bit dirt.
Okay.
Nox is
Go for
using acrobatics.
Interesting.
For 13 plus 4, I can't.
17.
17!
17. That is a pass.
I know math, I swear.
As you're moving,
You just wanna wait.
and your legs are kind of your legs are moving faster than your brain, and you're running and you're
My-
leaping and hurtling and
You are seeing Nox as graceful as you've ever seen him before.
instinctively you start jumping over stuff as some of these things on the ground aren't logs. They're bodies of these long, slithery creatures. And one of them, as you go to step, you step in the middle of it, and it tightens its coil, but you make the leap just as you feel its scales kind of wrap around your ankle, and you hear this loud, constricting crunch of something got caught there, but it wasn't you.
As long as it wasn't him, he's fine. Yeah.
Percy.
Well, I guess I will. I was going to use acrobatics, but since Nox did,
So
I'll use
because
something
you are hidden when you're starting your escape here, you can make your first check with advantage.
different. Okay.
You can still use it, it's just I can't use.
Yeah. Well, since he's hidden, I will continue to try to stealth. Unless you want me to use something different, I will gladly do something different. But I was just thinking that he would be trying to sneak from tree to tree and hide in the underbrush.
Okay.
If you'd rather I use something different, I will gladly do so. I have something for the next one that's going to be dandy.
Go for it. No, go ahead and make stealth check.
Okay. And it's with advantage since I was already hidden to stay hidden. Ooh, not good. A 7 on the die for an 18.
Oh, no, good. That's an 18.
Yeah, the other one was a nat 1.
That's a pass. As you are hidden and remaining hidden, you are kind of moving behind trees, following in the footsteps of your friends who are just kind of hoping that you're following along with them. As you're moving, you go to hide behind one of the trees, and you think about stopping and hiding here, but something tells you to keep moving as you leap towards the next one, as coming out of camouflage from that tree that you were perched at, a serpent kind of reaches its head out after you and lunges its fangs, but you just kind of dodge the shoulder just a little bit as its fangs go piercing into the tree. Kai.
And all of a sudden, Nox from right beside you goes, "Hurry up, Nox!" Whoa, where'd he come from?
He's just gonna give a good thumbs up sign as you just see him like jump over stuff. Quickly.
Okay.
Oof. See, that's, for me, it's like really easy because I got either really good or really bad skill scores.
Same.
You can get creative with it.
It's
If there's something else you want to use, you can try
Use
it.
investigation to try to find out.
Yeah, I was
better
like,
way through.
can I use investigation to kind of like find a path around other trees where I see not as much going on?
That would be more perception based.
How would you say I could use investigation? I'm blanking. Okay.
Following the path of somebody else that you've seen recently. That thus far.
I would say that's more survival though.
Yeah, because it's following tracks.
That's fair.
That wouldn't be bad for you though. You can
No,
try
it
to follow
wouldn't.
Satoru's tracks.
That's
Or
true.
try to follow the same
You
path
spend a
Satoru.
key point, you step rolling.
You would just let me do that without having to roll.
No, I would have you roll. It would be dexterity based, but it would be a lower threshold of what you'd have to roll.
Sure. We'll use another key point.
So you can add your dexterity modifier, but what your threshold is that you're rolling for is going to be a lower.
So I'm just only straight dex checks. Am I adding proficiency with this as well, or
What would that give you for a total?
+6?
Yeah, go for it. It's not like you're not proficient with it.
You roll another nat one.
I rolled a nat 2 for an 8.
8?
I rolled a nat 2.
Unfortunately, that is your first failure.
I've got 2 more for the party.
As Kai, you kind of keep looking back over your shoulder. You're looking for Percy. You're looking at all of these things that are chasing you. You start kind of slowing down unintentionally. There's just so much going on that your footing is becoming lost. Satoru will attempt to use survival and his expert knowledge of the forest to kind of find the shortest path to not only lead himself, but to perhaps guide all of you. Is roll a 12 or an 18, which is a pass. He is good, so 1 failure so far, 2 more to give, and you all have to just make 1 more successful check. So,
I am
Back to
going to
you, Drex.
use athletics.
athletics.
Jump over and
Like pole vault style.
Yeah.
Like,
any bodies or logs or whatever's on the ground.
Parkour,
that
parkour!
might be in the way.
That would be more acrobatics. Athletics would be
straight up just a dead sprint.
like if you wanted to maybe like climb over trees or
Yeah.
branches, stuff like that. Yeah, you can do that. 18 as a pass. As there are from just perhaps time or combats that occurred in the past, there are a few trees that are down on the ground. Some of them aren't quite fully knocked over, but they're at like an angle. And you kind of grab onto a few of their branches and hoist your body up and over as kind of getting away from the things that are slithering on the ground. But you seem to have entered into a state where you feel yourself on a breakaway, where you are moving faster than they can keep up.
I was gonna try and gauge the I was either gonna try and use medicine or animal handling to try and gauge the movements of these snakes, and then I realized it'd just be animal handling just to judge the movement of the snakes to avoid being struck and stuff. So or
That would be insight.
yeah, I could do that too.
You could use animal handling to perhaps coerce them to not eat you.
I mean, you can use it as insight too, because for my animal handling and insight are the exact same.
Okay, yeah, go for it.
Oh, and then they're both wisdom based, so I'm fine.
You do insight. Just do what you want to do, Rachel.
Yeah. I had a double check and I'm like, no, I did Dex earlier, so. 20. 16
20.
plus 4, 20 for insight.
That's a pass. As you turn over and you see kind of Kai starting to lag behind, and you look and you see kind of now that they're moving quickly, their camouflage has basically completely faded. And you can see kind of coming from both the tops of the trees and also on the ground. It seems the ones that are in the trees are a little bit larger, and it's easier for them to kind of move from branch to branch as opposed to the ones on the ground, which are smaller in size. But deducing this, it is definitely easier to outrun the ones on the ground. There's less going on here, and so doing so, you kind of stick close to Satoru. You see Drex kind of go up and over a tree, and you kind of break in that direction with them. You're good. Percy.
Okay, so I'm going to explain Percy's thinking, and then I'm going to explain how I think it should play out.
Okay.
So he's going to take out his harmonica, thinking music soothes the savage beast. But in actuality, he plays the harmonica so poorly that it confuses the snake.
Okay.
But I'm basically making a performance check.
Go for it.
Ooh, that's a 6 for a 16.
You're like plus 10 to
I have 4
Yes.
skills that I have double proficiency in
Oh
because
my
I took
gosh.
I took the, I think it's called skilled
Mhm.
feat, which gives me an extra double bonus.
Yeah, that's a pass.
So it's sleight of hand, stealth, performance, and acrobatics. I have double proficiency in.
As you're kind of going,
Man.
the one that had lashed its fangs out at you and was kind of stuck on the tree kind of backs out, and you kind of make eye contact with it as it opens its mouth, and you just see it kind of growing in size wider and wider as it prepares for another strike against you. And you just kind of reach into your pockets and grab your harmonica and look at it, look at the snake, look at it, look at the snake, and you're like, and you just blow
Yeah, right.
really hard. And this, now you all hear this extremely high-pitched instrumental noise as the snake that had its mouth open, its jaw kind of like contorts, and you see its head like flexing all over the place. Whatever frequency you just blew this thing at has temporarily like fucked it up in the head.
You just nails on a chalkboard.
You use this
Dog whistle to a dog.
Yeah.
Knox's soul kind of dies a little on the inside with the harmonica screaming out in agony.
Now's not the time. Now's not the time.
That's all the time. Oh gosh.
So, I will give you a choice here, Percy.
Okay.
You've already passed, so you may take this and go, or this snake is temporarily stunned. You perhaps see an opportunity here to.
Oh, you gotta tease me! He's teasing me with his snake!
Oh
You know what? They sometimes just gotta poke them with it.
Sometimes it works, sometimes
Yeah,
it don't.
exactly.
Sneak up behind her. Oh.
Just whip it out, see what happens.
Continue.
You don't have to.
Well, the only thing I'm thinking is even if I shot it, I've got 2 thoughts. Number 1, if I don't shoot, I've basically wasted an entire vial of wyvern venom because it lasts for 1 minute. The second
You've
thing
already coated the.
Mhm.
Gotcha.
The other thing I'm thinking is, if I do shoot it and kill it, how are we getting the scales? Because the other snakes will prevent us from getting the scales.
It looks. It's not. This one isn't incredibly large. This was one of the ones that was on the ground chasing you.
So you could probably just grab it and drag it.
Alright, I'll take a shot.
Yeah.
Going for it.
Chaos respects chaos. Go for it.
Take 1 shot.
So, make the attack with advantage. Okay.
And it's stunned. And if it hits,
Disoriented. Yeah. We're
doesn't
gonna
he get his assassinate?
No.
Not assassinate. No.
No, they just be sneak attack.
Yeah.
Because I have advantage on the Oh, and that's that was over there.
Okay.
Oh, that's even better.
Jesus Christ.
It's a 25 to hit.
Yeah.
How many
Okay.
d6 do you need?
I got enough for right now. Okay, so it's
I actually killed this thing with 1 shot.
so it's 8 points of normal damage and 10 points of sneak attack damage.
Okay.
And then if it's susceptible to poison, it needs to make a con save. DC 15. It failed.
7.
So we're at 18 right now. And 25 poison damage. So 43 points of damage total.
Kill it.
Drex, can you grab that thing? Yeah. Just drag along with us?
Sure. Percy's like, Drex! As he like throws you, and you're like, what? You look down because you're already ahead of him. You're like, what? And you, at first, all you see is this flying serpent just being launched at you. You're like, ah! And then, as it like lands next to you, it like lays limp, and you see this crossbow bolt kind of sticking out of its head, and you realize that it's dead.
All right. Pick it up.
Okay.
You now have a boa.
Oh my gosh.
I put it over my head.
Got it.
If it's got feathers on it.
It's a feathered boa.
We put feathers in this thing.
Can I
Percy, you'll never get back.
can I try and do a survival check to follow support?
Yeah. Also the darkness.
He
He just gave you a
Can I
belt.
use a step of the wind to help that?
I'm gonna say no because you used it last time.
It's fine. I should survive, right? Yeah. That's a 14.
14. Okay. That's a pass. And you kind of bounce your way over to where the rest of the group is.
I'm just gonna.
Satoru's kind of lagging behind, kind of ushering everybody and pointing in the quickest path. Drex kind of, after grabbing the snake, between him and Nox, who are already there, they kind of both lean down and kind of give you a helping hand as you kind of lumber over this passage. And now Satoru will...
Can I start using the snake as a whip?
Kinky.
Mini weapon. You can have your scales, I just want to whip.
You're welcome. You know what my facial expression was. You just said it out loud.
He's going to use Perception
It's not like we didn't talk about that Sunday campaign. It's fine.
to just kind of scope the area. Oh, that is a 3 for a 9, which fails. So it's a good thing you passed.
You still have one more.
That was the second failure.
Yeah, we still have one more failure.
So it's a good thing she failed. Or she passed.
Because if I had failed, that would have been 3 failures. And no.
We might be down at Percy.
So,
You mean?
as he kind of ushers you guys along, he sort of loses his footing where he's at, but between all of you guys kind of turning and helping him up, you continue running, occasionally not stopping, but occasionally glancing over your shoulders, and you see the yellow eyes that were in pursuit start to slow down a little bit. It seems that,
They're no longer interested in fast food.
yes,
It's too fast.
the McDonald's has gotten away.
If that was gonna be a nice Happy Meal.
It's the wet Wednesdays after the Taco Tuesdays.
Ooh.
Ugh.
Percy would have been a kid's name.
From where you guys are, and after as much as you guys have moved from your running, you are surprisingly close to Satoru's hut.
Dude, we do not stop until we are in, like, actual safety. Like, we are not stopping.
Satoru, I hate to ask you this, but can you guide us to the entrance to the Timberland, the big red Tory gates, please?
Perhaps we sit for a moment.
Not a good idea. Let us catch our breath a little bit.
As Nox is, like, standing there trying not to sound winded, but he's like, oh my god, I'm out of practice!
You were leaping over things that, like, I'd never seen you do that, Nox.
Fear's one hell of a motivator.
Tell me about it. I slipped.
You need to work on your conditioning there.
Taps his
He
own
leads you guys over to where his hut was that you have seen before. And there are like small logs, and this is kind of like an open patch area where there's There's still trees around, but the ground is smooth. It's flat. There's a little bit of grass, not a lot of ton of leaves and stuff covering. You see the handfuls of foxes just kind of roaming about.
I kind of lean down and scratch one.
Kai, is that flower gonna be useful?
I kind of hold it up. I hope so. Is there like is there snake eggs kind of still clinging to it a little bit?
They're not clinging to it, but you see like
Are there some shells?
looking at it. Give me a nature check again.
Oh boy.
Now that you're looking at it.
We bring baby ones with us.
8.
8.
I rolled a natural 3.
Yay.
Note to self.
You're looking at it, and the flower in your hands is in relatively good condition. It's a little
Tussled from running.
Yeah, a little tousled, a little crumpled from running and kind of being gripped onto. But the flower itself seems to be in good conditions. It's the roots that it came from, where it was just kind of violently plucked. The roots are really, really like tangled and messy at the bottom. They're split in some areas.
I kind of tuck it into the bag that we had for it, the little pouch.
I hope they can use it.
I hope so too.
Let's hope they need the flower, not the roots.
Well, he told us to look for the flower, not the root, but you know.
You get the whole thing. Hey, you never know.
When we say like there was a giant snake.
Not
Yes,
only that,
ma'am.
all that white stuff around the flower, those were snake eggs.
Well, that's why there were so many of them.
That's probably exactly. Breeding ground.
Real glad we did not
Try to fight this thing.
send Percy, because nothing is more scarier than an angry mother. Or father. I don't know their nesting habits.
Also, nice job killing that one.
Thanks.
Pretty
It
good.
was kind of a spur of the moment kind of thing.
Yeah, well, we all heard your harmonica, so.
That hurt here.
You speared a snake?
That
Percy
hurt,
gets
that
scaled
hurt
up
my
like that,
soul.
trying to turn this thing into a whip.
I don't know. I just tried. It worked.
What's left of it?
A bone whip?
Yeah!
You got some weird kinks there, Drex.
We'll see. I'll let you try, but it'll be like a camping activity, like when you're resting at night, kind of thing.
I'm not sure Nox would be concerned or interested.
I might need your help. And that's Percy, but this is a little too odd for Percy.
Cool. Do both of the dads have a kink?
I don't know.
Never know.
You're too young for that conversation.
I'm 17.
Still too young.
Still too young. You lived in what? A small little village, and then you went to a temple?
My brother-in-law's a woodworker, and you don't know what I've read.
There's a difference between experiencing and reading.
True story.
Oh, that's why.
What's reading?
So, just because I was double checking, so I'm like, did I do something wrong that I have so many expertise? But as a rogue, at first level, you get to pick 2 skills that you have expertise in. At 6th level, I get to pick 2 more. And for my feat at 4th level, I picked skill expert, so I got to pick a 5th. So I have 5 skills that I have expertise in. So,
Yes.
Yes.
Skill monkey.
yes. Basically, that was kind of the build I was going for. But they're very specific.
Jack of all trades, master of none.
No, he's the
Better
master
than
of
a
many
master of
trades.
one.
Yes.
I love the full phrase.
Take 2 7s and 2 6s.
We're just gonna chill for a hot minute.
Yeah.
Just
You guys may take the benefits of a short rest.
Yay!
get
Sitting.
our fucking heart rate under
Yeah,
control.
sitting for a moment at camp.
Yeah.
During this time of rest,
Rogue
D8.
has
No, Rogue's a D8.
Monk's also a D8.
Satoru approaches you, Kai.
Okay.
You fight similar to how I do. What do you know of Horus?
I mean, not a lot.
Hey, why didn't they heal him?
I mean, I've read books about, like, certain like rage-based fighters sometimes have them, but you had one earlier, and when I got smacked by what's his name?
Dude, where I went on this mission for?
Yeah.
Miho.
Yeah.
Professor Miho.
Mission.
When I got smacked by Miho, I had one that kind of showed up. That's
Yes, the forest seems to have taken a liking, but you are not from here, so
no, but my sister is training at the temple, and on the road here, a fox chose her.
Oh, I'm so glad.
means little, but you should learn to use this aura within you.
Do I just kind of meditate on it, or?
Mr. Toto, if being attacked by spiders and snakes is your idea of the forest taking the Kai, I'm not so sure she'd want to be taken by it.
There's a lot I can learn here, though.
It is not being attacked by spiders and snakes, perhaps it is only being attacked by spiders and snakes. There are
There's a lot I
things,
can learn. That's what you take away from this entire scenario?
there are things of this forest that enjoy playing tricks on ice. My eyes, my people, kind of points to his ears on his head,
Yeah,
are
you're a kitsune, right?
keen sight
That makes
to
the statement worse.
see through things that are not. That's why we can navigate this forest so easily. But eyes untrained may have difficulty seeing. There's I know little of what words people use to describe, but there is another place not like here where magics and tricks are more abundant. That
I think I
place,
like that place. Can I learn the magic and tricks?
that place and this place are connected.
What's the other one? Is it over in the same side as Arcanium?
No, it is not here. It is elsewhere.
I think I got the idea as soon as
Not of this world. As you are good with magics as well and illusory things.
Swords, yeah.
So I mean, how would I go about using this aura? Do I just kind of meditate?
Perhaps that would be good. Whatever your teachings were, reflect. Reflection is the path.
And then she'll kind of go find a little corner, because to get her key back she has to meditate anyway, so she's gonna go meditate for a while. And just kind of think on her teachings and aura and see how that kind of...
So you kind of start going to wander off and you sit for like 10 minutes.
It has to be minimum 10 minutes to take key.
About 10 minutes, enough to kind of restore your key. Not really enough time to really kind of start going through the path or the process of kind of what you're talking about. Is like basically right at that point, everyone is
Kind of.
geared up and kind of getting ready to move out.
Well,
You should go. Your friend is probably worried.
and my sister, if she's there.
Is he? I'm pretty sure he's living his best life in the back right now.
You probably.
Well, he has seen. Perhaps he deserves such a treatment.
I'm just saying, I just don't know if us
We've got
being concerned for us is going to be very high on the priority list for him at this given time.
I mean, we should stop by the temple first anyway, see if Miho wants the flower.
Should we at least try and collect the other member of our party, or just leave him be?
Do we need to try to plant that in something?
I don't know.
Maybe we should try to.
If we do
Get
that,
some
then we
dirt.
might want Theo, because he's a druid, he can do nature magic stuff.
Yeah, but it might be too late. We were supposed to preserve the flower.
You had a container that. Is it not in the container?
I did put it in the container, or whatever, like the pouch or the pot or whatever. I put it in there, it's just,
You had bought. She had bought one before you.
I specifically went out and got one,
Okay.
because the sunlight kills it, so I wanted to do something where we could, like, protect it.
Just in case.
We should head back. This place is more dangerous. That morning, we'll be here soon.
Mr. Satoru, it was nice to meet you. Thank you for your help. And he reaches out his hand to shake it, and he's like, oh. Because he doesn't know whether to shake hands or bow or what, so he's doing everything at once.
He's uncertain and just kind of nods his head.
Pick one, Percy.
Turns and kind of motions you guys to follow him.
You're gonna give yourself premature back problems if you doing that.
Yeah. After a handful of hours, he does lead you back to where you can see the trees begin to thin a little bit.
We must be so
Opening.
tired at this point.
It's been all night and all day, yeah. Kai's ready to go take a bath and pass.
Yes.
The exhaustion, as you are kind of, the adrenaline has stopped coursing through your body. The exhaustion kind of hit when you sat down for the short rest, which was enough to let your body kind of rejuvenate a little bit. But as soon as you stood back up to get ready to move, it was like getting out of bed at 5, 6 in the morning, and your body's like, no, get back down. And you're like, oh my god. Yep. Every
Gox
morning.
is very
Yep.
familiar with this, so he stands up, no problem.
And
I assume at some point on the walk, it's Percy's again, the example being the little, taking your kids to Adventureland.
At the end of the
And
night,
they're
it's
all hyped up on sugar and adrenaline and everything. And then they're in the car. As soon as you put them in their car seats, on the way home, they're like, da 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 da. Boom.
Alright,
And so he's over Drax's shoulder. Snake over one shoulder, Percy over the other.
I got you, buddy. Don't worry.
Max occasionally casting guidance on the big guy. Keep
you
you upright.
make it back into town, where shortly before the forest edge stops, Satoru kind of gives you a slight bow.
Thank you, Soren.
You are here again.
You can teach me how
I
to
will
be
be in the
fun.
forest.
Escape fuck life.
Farewell.
Thank you.
He turns and starts heading back towards his hut.
I might not be the sharpest tool in the shed, but I sure am strong.
Come on.
You're a blunt instrument.
Yeah, it hurts more anyway.
That's so
Are we
dumb,
there
I
yet?
I love it.
Where are you guys going from here now that you are?
The temple's right there, I say we just kind of swing by.
Let's just get rid of this flower so we can go pass out.
Sounds like a plan to me.
It is also, keep in mind the time frame, it's middle of late night, early morning.
Miho better have his ass up.
How early do they get up to do their nonsense?
I have no idea.
Well, we'll swing by, see if anybody's up. If not, we're gonna go sleep.
I need to wait by myself.
Okay. So I think the plan was to swing by, see if literally anyone of any import is up. If not,
If there's an acolyte or something, just kind of.
You there.
Freak me out.
Wait,
go
Miho.
wake his ass up.
So you go across the temple, or you go through the archways, across to the other side where you know the temple is. And who's doing what?
I should probably stay outside because I got a snake on my shoulder
And someone's like, you know what, we'll go.
and a passed out Percy.
Percy's like, I'm not asleep.
Exactly. Sorry.
They'll have to
I'm
sleep
a-
away.
Sorry, little guy. Don't worry.
there yet.
We'll have you in bed in no
I
time. Don't
kind
worry.
of like walk up and I kind of. It's an open archway into the temple, right?
Mm-hmm.
Here's looking.
Fairly quiet.
Do I see anybody moving around?
Perception check.
I mean, it's not quiet if Nox is in there because his armor's very loud.
Is it perception? That's an 11.
11?
Roll a 9.
You hear, because it echoes in here, the like faint noise of like with like broom against the floor. Like you kind of look and you don't see anybody like immediately within eyesight, but
Hello?
No response.
I mean your voice doesn't really carry.
I'm gonna go take a peek. There's somebody sleeping.
Do you want me?
Sure.
Part of me wants to use thaumaturgy just to make the voice 3 times as loud.
Yeah.
Anyway, but no, he's just gonna look around and sleeping. Okay. And he's just gonna bang on his shield, like playing, kind of
Like knock, knock, knock.
Penny. Penny. Penny.
Okay. The sound of sweeping stops for like
My name's not Benny.
15, 30 seconds or so.
No.
A young individual kind of comes from the other side of where the temple is and sees you.
Hello.
Yes.
Could you perhaps go fetch Miho?
Just the middle of the night.
Uh-huh.
Yes, he's sleeping.
Where we wanna be, but we just came back and I point at the woods.
We're here to turn his quest.
He wants his spell.
Right.
And I'd rather not risk it in the daylight.
This poor lowly servant.
Right, there's no clue what this
poor
flower
lonely
is about.
acolyte is probably like, what?
Hello.
I'm sure
You think me? Oh, you
Take the flour to the cook in the kitchen. They'll make the biscuits. We're fine.
I'm sure he would appreciate getting woken up with.
For this.
If you wish to visit him, and make visits his residence, you will have to be here at the temple to
Awesome.
later.
There's that.
It is kind of sets the room down. Follow me.
This poor acolyte.
We gotta go find Miho at his house.
We're gonna wake his ass up in the middle of the night and like, here, you have no idea what we went through to get this. Here's this minor inconvenience of waking up at midnight.
Probably closer to 3 a.m., but.
Either
It's like closer to like 6 a.m.
way. Oh, we're fine.
Oh, yeah,
Probably get
at
up
this
soon
point I would
anyway.
know because I'm no longer in the woods. I know which direction's north and I know what time it is.
Yeah, we'd be getting up soon anyway. So early wake up call.
In the morning.
He guides you through town, kind of to the closer to kind of the edge near the walls where there's a lot more of like the housing, and he leads you to this. From the outside, it looks fairly nice. It's 2 stories, which here is not super common, but I mean, it's, you know, every now and again you do see them, but most places here are single stories with the exception of a handful of houses that are kind of scattered about. This being one of them. It's a 2-story house that kind of has that sloped triangular, like really, where it looks like a hay ceiling, but it's not. It's a different kind of like material. It's got the arches that kind of branch out from the corners. As he leads you to it, it's like a 15-minute walk.
That's
Yeah.
15 minutes too long for exhausted players.
You know, she wanna knock.
Okay. Thud, thud, thud.
Thank you, Acolyte. May Tenko bless you with luck.
The nights go undisturbed.
You have no idea.
So, go.
And take this gold as a donation to the temple.
Thank you. Takes it however much you need.
I did make him kind of give up on his cleaning a little bit for this, so.
Interrupted the night show.
Right.
After like
That no, it's
Like,
more salty is when we get
30
interrupted.
seconds, eventually the door slides open. Doesn't like pull open, it slides across. And you see Mito, the elderly man, kind of hunched over in
Pajamas?
not necessarily pajamas. It's like his robes that he wears at the temple, but the full outfit is not complete. He is missing like his necklace that he usually wears, like a bead necklace. Other accessories that are kind of on his body are not there.
He
It's
is
just
in his robes, he's not in his ceremonial stuff.
basically the door kind of opens and you can see that perhaps he was already awake, but he's not.
Like, all the way awake yet.
He's not.
Yeah.
He's like Jenna, she hasn't had her coffee.
Me, when I roll into D&D.
That's right. There was
You are back.
Yeah. And I kind of pull out the pouch. Here you
You
go.
didn't want to run the risk.
Kind of like straightens his eyes and looks, reaches and grabs the.
And I kind of throw up a little bit of shade if you want, like, if there's any sunlight yet.
I mean, there is, but it's
We didn't want to run the risk of injuring the flower in daylight.
kind of looks at it and like
It's
in his.
Wouldn't it already be full daylight? 'Cause there's only like 2 hours of darkness, isn't there?
It's dark, but the sun's not out. It's the moon is that bright. It
Gotcha.
feels like it's daylight still.
Okay,
It's not actually sunlight.
gotcha.
And if so, Nox would just raise his shield and just go like.
As you guys are kind of handing this and talking, just kind of looks at it and clutches it and doesn't say anything, but like eventually like you see like a string of like kind of water kind of
he starts crying.
come down, not like
Heavily crying.
not like bawling, but
It's the
Enough.
silent
it's a
tears.
the sense of like extreme
Relief.
Gratitude.
joy, relief, happiness.
Happy tears.
He kind of like clutches it close to his chest. Kind
I
of
don't know if the roots are
bows.
salvageable or not, but I mean,
done me a great service. We will take this and get to work on it immediately.
he, and I kind of point to the whole here back is good. Anyone got paper?
I will fill out your paperwork.
We can swing by once we've had some sleep.
We probably will not see us until tomorrow.
You are going to be here for the next day or so. I'm sure if you please come visit, I'm sure the princess would love to meet her saviors.
And I want to see my sister again.
I mean,
Her sister is back.
I'm sleeping for at least
Good.
a good day. So
They'll be up sometime tomorrow.
yeah, we'll be up sometime tomorrow. So.
24 hours of sleep will do some good.
Right? Jesus.
I mean, if you take anything from overnighters' personal experience, staying up all day and all night, you will
That's
sleep
rough.
for like 13, 14 hours just for you.
Oh no, then they're done that.
So,
Back to the end.
Back to the end.
Mito kind of gives you a wave and a bow. Goodbye.
Nox is gonna pause and he's like, well, Should we try? No, I don't know. No. Shit.
What?
Theo, I don't know if he's awake or if he's asleep, or should we send him
I still have a
message?
key card. I pull out the key.
Cool.
Wait, if you have the key, I also have the other key.
There's 3 of them.
Who had the other key? Did Theo have the other key?
I think we did give Theo a key. No, we didn't.
Yeah, Nox
I don't
realized.
have one.
If Nox realized, then who has it? No, I thought we only had 2 keys.
Was it 2 or 3 of them?
No, I thought there was 3 keys.
There's 3.
Oh,
Did
good.
we give one to Cecily?
I think so,
Probably,
yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
And so Nox is just like, oh, 1, 2. Theo's not in the room.
No, but Cecily probably is.
Oh, let's hurry then.
He was probably in the bath doing shape water and.
Probably sleeping in the water, let's be honest
He
here.
probably couldn't get into the room, so he just went back to the bath. Fell asleep in there.
Feel the broom.
No, even if Theo's asleep or whatnot, he's going to give him sending me like, hey, we're alive, we're on our way back to the hotel, we're going to be here for another day or so. And then just kind of let it. And it's going to be like, I'm sorry if I woke you up.
No, you're not.
Oh, that's good. I've been waiting for you guys to get back. I'm not sure. You know, I wasn't sure how to get to you guys, so I just stayed here at the inn with the girls. So, see you when you get here.
We see this look pass you right. What did he say?
He's in danger.
Somebody's in danger.
We must hurry.
Nox is going to start walking like power walk, like adult power
I
walk.
don't have that kind of energy this time.
He says he's been waiting with us and he's with the girls. Let's go.
Oh god.
Drex scoops up Percy. He's just like,
Yeah, biscuits and gravy sounds good for breakfast, Mom.
Starts walking.
As you hastily make your way back to the inn,
With the last little bit remaining energy.
the stable master that was out there, not quite morning shift yet. You do see the horses' backs in their stables, the handfuls of them that are kind of being taken care of here. As you make your way up the stairs and to the familiar doors, as you kind of stand there for a moment, expecting them to open, they do not.
Okay. Do they push open?
Yeah.
Okay, cool.
Yeah.
He just pushes them open.
As you push in,
He's
and
essentially
kind
a
of
mother on a mission.
Step inside. There isn't immediately like a ton of people here. There are some people who are kind of waking up, going through their early morning routine.
Yeah, no, I'm coming
however,
in like a bat out of
For
hell.
it being this early with this few people, it is exceptionally noisy. As you see, like, looking forward with these stairs that kind of lead up to the upper levels, you see the 2 familiar hostesses who were normally at the door, but they are currently walking down the stairs. They have their kimonos on, they have their white face paint with the red lipstick, they have their full getup on. And in the middle, between them, kind of locked one arm in each arm, you think you see Theo. You are so unsure, though. The only thing that is familiar to you is this blue kimono that you saw him buy earlier, as he's dressed in it, but he is also spouting the white face paint.
That's what I was gonna say,
The red lipstick. His hair is tied up in this bun that sits on top of his head with these pins keeping it in place like peacock feathers.
He's going to immediately slow down. Oh my god, he's alive, he's safe. Alright, we're fine.
You know, as you're kind of coming down the stairs, you see Nox followed by the rest of the party kind of burst through the doors.
I let go of the girl's arms and I rush up to the group and I try my best to hug them all at the same time.
Kai literally takes a step back.
Knox is going to immediately kneel down and just give you the most bone-crushing hug. Oh my god, thank God you're safe. Oh
So you look
God.
down and you see that he's wearing black sandals that have like about a 1-inch heel to them.
I still have to start without a hug you. He's gonna be careful not to like make it like no, but he's gonna be like, oh my god, you're alive, you're safe, oh my gosh.
Percy's.
Percy kind of opens one eye and he's like, "Who's this new guy?"
It's Theo.
Go back to
Go
sleep.
to sleep.
Go back to sleep. And he's gonna like do like the like on the shoulders, like once over, be like, you're safe, you're okay.
Yeah,
You're not in any danger.
No, I'm fine. The girls have been teaching me how to this.
At this point, they kind of approach as well, kind of stepping and walking in unison. They approach, and they speak together as well. Your friend was worried.
We were worried.
He's okay.
He's okay.
I'm going to bed.
He's okay.
And I go let myself into the room.
I would like to introduce you though to Fong and Fong. Don't get their names mixed up. They don't like that.
Yes, I am Fong. She is Fong.
Drex, why don't you go take
This is the only time you have ever heard them speak separately.
We'll go take Percy to bed.
Like, I don't have time for this.
Kai's
Percy's
just like,
going down.
he's okay. I'm exhausted. I'm going to bed.
Knox caught a second wind of concerned parent.
And Kai has already traipsed off back to the room. She's like, come on, Drex, let's get him.
I guess I don't have to keep.
I was almost eaten by this giant spider. It was as big as the trees.
We were almost eaten by snakes.
Several snakes.
Yes.
Big.
As he points to like one of the snakes straight over Drex's shoulder.
Ugh.
That's a little one.
That was a little one.
That's a baby.
Ugh.
We didn't see that giant spider you were talking about, but we did see a giant snake.
Several.
We were lucky. I wasn't sure I was going to get out of there, but I was able to misty step away, and then I used the trees to get away. That potion was kind of lucky that I bought this yesterday morning or this morning or whatever time it is.
Yeah. We have been up for a
It's like 6:30.
Yeah, I haven't been to bed either.
How
Oh,
are you
you're
still
so energetic.
coffee?
The bath?
I don't want to know.
And Kai just kind of lets up his. Come on.
They had more stamina than I did.
I'm glad.
They both just kind of turn with a smile.
I've participated in a few interesting things in my time, but perhaps one day we can share stories.
This is not that day.
This is not the day.
Are you guys going to the room? Like,
These buffoons still think this is face paint.
Are you guys going up to the room? I couldn't get in.
Oh my goodness.
You know, you probably just could have knocked really hard. Cicely's been in there.
Oh, I didn't want to wake
Let's
her up.
take, yes, let's go.
And Kai just kind of goes in, sees her sister probably just starting to wake up, and she's like, we're back.
He's going
Face first into the bed, half on it, half not, just kind of.
He's going to pause and then turn around and look at the two ladies, or whatever they are, and he's going to go, thank you for taking such good care of him.
And you both give you a bow in return.
And he's like, okay, let's get going to bed. We're going to have to stop by the probably
If I was-
temple tomorrow. All that
We have-
matters.
Fong, Fong, and Thong.
Yeah, he's gonna make sure everyone is accounted for, because he's paranoid like that. Everyone's accounted for, and then he's going to go. He's probably not even gonna make the bed. He's gonna make it to the couch. And
Everyone except Cecily, she's not here.
he's gonna sacrifice his last third level spell. He's like, we're back at the hotel. As long as you're safe, you're
Why is
okay.
it like Battlestar?
please respond just to let me know you're okay, and then we're gonna pass out probably for the next eternity. Yeah, just you were unaccounted for. Just making sure you're safe.
A couple seconds. Oh, welcome back. Yeah, I'm fine. I'm just out in the town. Early night, early morning.
He's gonna know. He's gonna wander over to see if you just so happen to be awake. But
I'm like I'm blinking, like,
your sister's fine.
oh.
She's in the same state he was about 10 minutes ago.
And then he's just going to like lift up your other leg and actually tuck you in.
Hey.
You're gonna get a little kiss on the top of the head, and he's gonna make it to the couch, sit down,
Good
take
night.
off his armor, and then that's all she does.
Just about the time everybody else gets to sleep, Percy jumps up. Hey, great!
Nox is
I haven't even laid you down yet. Drex is like,
Yeah, so like as soon as you lay him down, he jumps up. He's like, "Hey, let's go get some breakfast."
no, you're gonna lay back down.
You're like, hey, let's go get some. Drex is like, pushes you back down.
Really big show. Knockout
You're really
punch.
loud.
Bam!
Going
Good night.
to Kai's room.
Kind of looks around and realizes everybody else is out. So
We'll walk over and
Nox armor is off, but Nox is just sitting down on the couch, just sound asleep.
Knox
Dad
might
chair.
be big, but
It's the dad chair. The
Yeah, I mean, you can have him. He doesn't actually weigh all that much. The armor is most of his weight.
Knox's armor is off.
So when Theo
Nox is
goes
late.
to his bed, he's gonna wild shape into a fox as he crawls into bed. And instead of his clothing melding into him like it normally does, he's just gonna let it all fall off.
That's for an awake Nox.
Knox is out.
You share a room with Percy.
Poor Percy.
Just lying in a pile of your clothes.
Lay
So,
Knox down
so in a
bed.
couple of hours, he'll involuntarily wild shape out to be without the clothes.
Somehow. Weird. Don't know what happened.
Well, yeah, you may all benefit from a long rest as you
God.
enter in a day of slumber.
I don't plan on Nox surfacing for a good long time.
Yeah, it is early, middle afternoon before all of you kind of start coming to. Definitely later than a lot of you are used to.
Kai's like, those naps that you have where you're like, what year is it? That's how she feels.
Dude, that was literally me. I didn't sleep with Grandma yesterday. I slept for like 13 straight.
I called grandma that's not.
I woke up, I had no idea what day it was.
So, what would you guys like to do? As you are
Pre-game.
awaking.
Oh, that's right, you're gonna do the dwarven challenge tonight,
Yeah.
aren't you?
Nox is gonna roll out of bed, stumble into the bathroom to try and make himself look presentable. I'm pretty sure he is like literally the most bedhead he has had in a very
Take
long time.
some of the water and kind of splash it.
Just
get your
try to
face.
fresh
I'm gonna head to the big baths. Like,
When I wake up, the face paint's probably all smeared.
I've slept in makeup on accident, and it makes your face feel so weird.
Your ears twitch at the word bath.
I'm not going to the co-ed bath. I'm just going to the ladies' bath.
Oh, that's fine.
Bye.
Percy probably
I've
even
made a lot of friends in there, so.
Percy probably even
So-
gets up and goes to the bath
Which
this
one?
day.
Co-ed.
He doesn't
or-
know.
After
Odds is co-ed, evens the male.
Nox is gonna
Odds, he goes to the co-ed bath.
Nox is gonna go.
He doesn't know where he's
No.
going.
He's following Theo.
After he freshens up a little bit, he's gonna go to the bath. Just to rest his sore fucking muscles.
Yeah.
Kai's like,
Drex would go to the co-ed bath because, you know, he doesn't give a shit.
Yeah. Are you going?
Oh, yeah.
Okay. So as like the three of you kind of wandering together, there's not a ton of people. It is a little bit busier though. There's a handful as you walk in. Most of them turn and kind of point to, and they're like, Theo!
Hey guys!
Just can't get enough of the water, can you?
It's where I belong.
Feel that?
How far away are these co-ed baths from the private baths?
Not super far. I mean, they are quite large though. So,
I
but
was just wondering if any of these Chad voices would echo.
oh, definitely.
Nice, it's just gonna sink further into the water, just a little bit.
Yeah, because it's the female bath, the male bath, and then it's the co-ed.
And we went
right?
to the co-ed, right?
Yeah.
So Percy probably like walks like 10 feet in the door,
Mm-hmm.
and then he stops, and he gets this red blushing on his cheeks. And he's like,
There are some girls in here, but you know, everyone is kind of where most everyone.
Everybody except for Theo.
Yeah.
Because most.
I
people
mean,
are
Theo
pals on
quickly
them, but-
goes into the changing room and disrobes and joins the bath.
And these people are totally used to it already.
Yep.
yeah, Percy's like really self-aware. What's the word I'm looking for?
Self-conscious?
Self-conscious, yeah. Yeah. But he eventually makes his way into the bath.
Congratulations, Percy. You can see what you could potentially grow.
And then at a certain point in time, he's like, they're like ready to go, and he's like, I can't get out of the water yet.
Oh, leans over, is like,
Drex.
oh, are these people sirens too?
No.
Parent number one is taking a well-deserved vacation.
And the only girl of the party is well enough away.
Dude, you could
Yes.
probably hide behind your fucking leg.
However long you guys decide to spend here, you
Is
know,
there
it is.
anyone else in the all-female bath?
I mean, there's a few people, yeah. I mean, this place is kind of the hot spot, so there's kind of always people around. It's just, you know, early morning and like evening after dinner are kind of the two busiest times. Anything in between is just kind of
Hit or miss?
leisurely, you know, handfuls.
Is this like even like wealthy town people come here to for like more for like the
It is-
social status than
Yeah, it is the you know the high quality in of the village. So you know people who can afford to stay here for a night, you know sometimes they'll take in town vacations and just come sit in the hot springs, go to the bar, enjoy the entertainment.
I mean, for Kai, she's going to be in the bath for a while. It's not gonna take her very long to get clean. It's just a matter of she's gonna be sitting in there, kind of just meditating on everything.
Okay. I mean, it's
And sweet.
No, I should probably be in there for no longer than an hour. Then you would get find food.
13. Rolled an 11.
Drex wanted to leave early, but he couldn't.
just kind of sitting in the hot
Quietly
water.
enjoying it.
Yeah. The hot water is good for not just you, but all of your, sore body muscles.
Especially for all the running.
The steam really helping kind of, loosen your body up a little bit. And as you kind of sit in the hot water in a,
Kind of a trance.
trance meditative state, you feel like your body is kind of on a different plane. You just feel weightless. You're in that deep center of
Being.
of meditation where you are, aware of your surroundings, but at the same time you are really kind of focused on your inner mind. Something that you were taught, how to do
Like
at
the second year of the monastery.
at the monastery. This is kind of a normal routine. But there is something about this that is
Different.
different. It's not just you in this central mind space. There are illusory, shadowy figures in here that they vaguely have shapes, but they also don't. They're like
Smoke creatures?
Smoky, inky blots that resemble humanoid shapes but have no distinguishable features or
Is this a Rorschach test?
things. Mitch, what do you see? Except for one, that as you kind of focus on it, the kind of smoky, inky blots start to become more solid. And you see yourself, but it's you, but a little bit different. You've got this like blanket of red energy kind of covering your body. Your eyes are, your like pupils have narrowed and have turned to like this like yellowy orangish glow. And it's just different.
While in this space, like in my meditative state, like where I'm kind of just physically I'm not moving, but mentally she's gonna try and reach out and touch that image of herself.
Okay. D20. Don't add anything to it, just roll D20.
My rolls tonight have been really not great, so it's a 17.
17. You see, like as you kind of envision yourself kind of reaching out and touching this,
Whatever.
it reaches back and there's like this moment of like hands colliding, and then there's just this like ripple effect that like moves through their hand, through the arm, into the body, into the face, and then it begins to dissolve. You know, almost like a Thanos snap, like where they start turning to dust. The black inky wisps just kind of start going away until
There's nothing.
there's nothing. The other blots here remain, but this one is gone. And at that moment, you kind of not really. You don't snap awake. You know,
It's more of
nothing
like
shocked you.
It's
but
more of like a
it's that calm.
coming back down to
yeah,
consciousness.
Your eyes open.
Do I kind of look down at my
You
eyes?
see, people are kind of looking at you weird. The other ladies in the bath.
Did something happen?
We kind of look to each other. Yes. No. Momentarily.
Can you describe it for me?
It was. I don't know, this red cloak, but it was here and then it was gone.
Thank you. And she'll kind of slowly, like, still deeply thinking about, like, what the lady said, about what she was doing, like, and she'll kind of get dressed and kind of head back to the room. It's probably been close to, like, I want to say, like,
this
an hour and a half,
point,
2 hours.
all of you guys have kind of.
Oh, I figure when we get out of the bath, Percy goes straight to the bar, hops up on the bar and orders a mead. And the bartender's like, sure you're old enough for me. I just saw a bunch of naked women. I'm a man now. I want a mead.
Not really naked, but yes.
Yeah.
Towels.
Knox would definitely be relaxing over his medical book, munching on some food in the hotel, like in their room, just like having tea or something. In his kimono that he bought.
When Theo gets out of the bath, he'll put the kimono on and join the rest of the group.
Looking like a fucking mob boss, just chilling there.
This is what it looks like.
You went all out on the peacock detailing. I'm not mad. I love peacocks. But
Just chilling, just vibing over his book.
hey, Knox, I'm gonna try and do something. And
Immediately closes the book.
so it's nothing dangerous or anything, I don't think. But I kind of want to have somebody else kind of watch. and I'll kind of like try and enter that meditative state to try and bring out that aura again.
Kai closes her eyes. Deep breath in and out a couple times.
Like it's not even connecting back to that one
I mean, you're thinking of it.
deeply centered space.
I mean, nothing's happening.
She's just gonna stay quiet, like just watching, like occasionally go like look at the
Nothing.
still watching like
No. Well, I don't want to have to sit here for a couple of hours like I just was. That aura,
yeah.
kind of tapped into it a little bit in the bath, I guess, and startled the other two women who were in there.
Water is a very strong conduit for a great deal of things. It can either amplify or it can destroy. So, water is very fluid like that.
I figured it was worth a shot.
We can try again later. We can keep trying. That's what you wish to do.
Yeah, I mean, if I have this aura, I want to figure out how to use it and what it means.
I mean, yeah. I was that exact same way once I figured out I could sprout wings, so I understand where you're coming from.
Alright. What was on your game plan for the remainder of this day?
Not a whole lot.
Sleep, drink.
I kind of want to go find some food. I'm hungry.
Then let's go find some food.
I think it's time for dinner anyway. And dinner's paid for with our room and board, so.
Is there anything through the course of the day that you would like to?
When we finish our drink, Percy would be like, "Hey, Drex, you want to come with me to take that snake to the lady?"
Sure. I think you only need some scales, but sure.
I
He's going
would rather give it to her to try to harvest some than try to do
Fair
it
enough.
myself.
He's going for brownie points. You ask for scales? Here's some entire snake.
Yeah.
Percy wants to show a woman his snake.
He's a man today, damn it.
He's made a drink, goddamn.
No, I just leaves you alone with the children for an hour.
It's not his fault.
Hey, to be honest though, this one's not misbehaving. She's just trying to tap into her inner being.
Percy didn't misbehave.
So you go into the
Back to the apothecary or the potion shop.
shop. Yeah.
I wish to keep the rest of the snake.
I should probably just hang out back at the hotel room, just chilling.
Okay.
Vibing.
The snake from most always.
So you make your way through
Percy.
town and head back to the apothecary shop where you open up and the same woman who greeted you yesterday is still there.
Yes.
She kind of turns and, "Oh, you're back.
Yeah.
Welcome."
We would have been here earlier, but it was a long night. Sorry. Drax, you wanna give her the?
Kind of looks just like,
Oh,
I have all the skills you want.
oh my! You
what? The whole thing. Kind of like
You take scales and give
reaches it and grabs it, kind of like.
I was gonna try to
across
get some of the scales myself, but I was afraid I'd ruined it if I did.
That is quite all right. I assume you want your. We had talked about a potion. Yes.
Yeah, I'm trying to remember which one it was.
Potion of invisibility.
Drax had bought me one.
Yeah, but that's the one you were trying to get.
That's the one you
right?
want.
Right.
Yeah. So,
Right.
yeah, how much was it?
If you supplied the materials,
I think it was it's half price. I think it's 150.
For some reason, I had 200 in my head, but I don't remember.
Oh yeah.
Pretty sure it's 150. 200. So it would be 100 with the materials. However,
it is not often we have a whole creature brought for harvesting. It there are many ingredients and components here. Perhaps would you be willing to part with it?
It's yours. We brought it for you.
I was wanting to make it.
Oh.
With that.
What?
I just need a bone and some leather.
Well, parts of those are also valuable ingredients, but perhaps we could either trade or I could purchase this from you.
Well, you got to kill.
I didn't realize you wanted that much of it.
I just need like some of the bones and leather.
Well, I was more than willing to give you the whole thing. I didn't realize my friend Drex here wanted some of the parts.
I mean,
So-
you can go hunt apes.
I can also just harvest just the scales for
Do what you need with it.
your potions. You can have it back if you want, but just know the offer is there if you wish to.
Do what you need with it.
Great, yes. We will start harvesting right away. You may, if you want to come back and pick it up, you'll return later this evening.
Okay, that sounds great. Sorry about bringing the whole thing, but
This is
like I
wonderful.
said, I didn't want to try to cut it up and ruin something and then have it be worthless to you.
No, this is
I'm
excellent.
used.
Thank you.
I'm used to working with live animals like bunnies and horses, not dead animals like snakes. So,
Kind of squints at you a little bit.
Yeah.
Nods his head.
thank you. We'll be back.
You'll be back. I'll be drunk.
Yeah.
Maybe you should bring Nox for the second return.
Kai knows where it is too.
Eventually,
somebody.
those of you that are back at the inn, eventually Cecily does make her way back, kind of spots you all at the bar.
Max is in the kimono.
Uh,
He said he wouldn't buy.
And that reminds Kai, seeing her sister, I have a thing for you.
Yes, hello to you too.
And she kind of reaches into her bag and pulls out the kimono for her sister and the kimono for herself. I buy you a kimono.
Oh, well, thank you. She grabs it and kind of.
They kind of
looks at
match.
it.
They're just opposites, like us.
Smiles and she's like,
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
What are you guys up to?
Honestly, I just kind of woke up at 3.
We're relaxing until tomorrow. And
Yeah, Miho said that you were long night.
long.
we'll be visiting Miho tomorrow.
At the temple.
Yeah, tomorrow's Saturday. Yeah,
He said
This guy's
Princess
gonna be
should be
drunk.
awake by then, so.
he deserves it.
I've got us
She's
restoration.
actually,
Should we still be home?
She's actually up now. They made the remedy early this afternoon. She's not really walking yet, but she's awake, which is better than has been.
We will give her.
Tomorrow.
We will give her a chance to get.
Yeah.
There's nothing worse than just waking up and being
Tons of people.
bombarded by a ton of people.
Alright.
Also,
Hi.
Hey, you guys just hanging out then for the day?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's the game, friend.
bartender's just kind of tossing a coin in between his fingers as he's staring at Drex, knowing that it's out there. There's this line of mugs that Drex has been sitting here, just ready to go, preparing himself.
Yes, well, it seems like
do that.
you have your hands full for the night.
I'm actually planning on going back to our room to meditate for a while.
What?
That thing that Miho did, apparently I can tap into it myself if I really, try. And I've done it once, briefly.
Why don't you go try it in the temple? Instead of in the room.
Or you could go ask him about it.
Miho?
I mean, he did it once, maybe he could do it again.
I mean, we talked, we met the guy in the white Satoru, and he told me that I could just meditate on it. Just, he's also kind of a monk, and he's got one.
Alright, we could do that. I've been spending a lot of time around Miho. He's been kind of teaching me.
No, it's fine. You don't have to come. I know where
I'm
it
just
is.
saying he's very wise. If you have any questions,
Yeah, I mean, I might go, but I kind of want to try it again and ask him about it in the morning if I can't figure it out.
Okay.
I mean, I've only known about it for like
2 days,
less than that,
if that. Yeah.
so I mean,
Well, Theo, are you at the bar?
He looks over to you.
Theo, what have you been up to?
Well, when I got back and couldn't get in the room,
Oh my God! Why didn't you come and find me?
or wake me up. I didn't want to bother you, so I went to the.
She gives you that look of extreme disapproval.
the same look that our mother had given us.
So I went to
The
the bath,
same look Knox wears.
Every day.
and then the girls taught me how to make my face up.
The creepy ones at the door.
Yes.
Yeah, Fong and Fung.
What? Never mind.
Be
No, I
careful,
don't want to know.
Yes, there you go.
Good answer.
Put on makeup.
He's enjoying
And he wore
himself.
sandals with heels.
Are you still wearing sandals with me?
Probably not since the bath. I'm probably barefoot actually. I have the kimono on, but that's about it.
As long as
Better than
he's
And your hair's not up.
safe
No.
and accounted for, that's what matters.
Yeah.
Sure. Yeah.
I got lost in the woods.
No,
Yeah,
not
tell
lost
me
in
about
the-
it.
No.
No. Bad guy.
You missed us running away from a giant snake.
Giants.
And a spider.
Yes.
Giant
Ew!
snakes.
I don't care about snakes, but spiders.
The snake was. You remember that big croc we fought?
She
Bigger than
wiggles her stump, like
No, not that croc. The one, and I kind of do the claw thing, and I'm like the claw.
oh
That one, bigger than that. Much bigger than
Oh.
that.
That's a big snake.
Like
Yeah.
over trees, big.
Oh my.
He ran away from his children.
And many more like it.
Honestly, knowing you guys, I'm very surprised you didn't just try and kill it.
He killed one of them.
I would have killed more, but they wouldn't let me. And as it turned out, I didn't know there were that many, or I probably wouldn't have tried to kill them. The one I got was just kind of.
It was a
Happenstance.
baby, and it was still big.
Turns out there's also a giant spider.
Somewhere.
Yes, one of the spiders that we were fighting, like, grabbed a hold of my face and bit me, and then teleported me, like, way into the forest somewhere, and there was this, like, spider that was bigger than trees.
She looks mortified.
Oh, speaking of which, point of contention. Oh, when I contact you via the spell, sending please, do not scream.
Oh, I'm sorry, I was just so happy to hear from you guys. I thought maybe you guys had gotten eaten by the spiders,
Yeah.
and
No.
I was so happy to hear from you.
Yeah,
Those
no.
And I
spiders
kind
weren't
of pull
that
out the two
big,
giant
Theo.
fighter fangs that I've got. We also fought giant spiders, and they had these.
Well, yes, most spiders have fangs. Please put those away.
But yes.
Also, so yes, only sending spell, no scream.
I can hear you just fine if you were talking normally or
But-
even a whisper.
Loophole is this is not a sending spell, and she like leans into you and just ah and, like screams, and then she books it.
And guys jumping right after her as they race into the room.
I like your sister.
And Cicely booking it is her kind of like limping with the
Yeah,
cane.
she's got the crush.
You see lightning just shoot down his arm. And he just crackles really loudly.
And
the bartender's like.
Kai catches up to her sister. We're not that different.
He's gonna sit back down and he's just gonna lean back
Have
and,
a beer.
and he's gonna go
Have a drink.
Have a drink.
and he's going to get a completely different look. Like it's like mob boss murderous intent look of revenge is a bitch.
And Percy's in that like mode, like where one of the other parents set dad off. So, or one of the other kids set dad off. So Percy's just like sitting there very quietly.
We know how that
I didn't
goes.
do it this time.
Wasn't me. Was it me?
Revenge is a bitch.
Revenge is a dish best served cold.
Revenge is a bitch served when she's asleep and I have thaumaturgy.
Yes.
You can amplify your voice at 3 times as loud.
As the day rolls into evening and the bar kind of becomes more alive, there are some bards that begin taking the performance stage and begin kind of playing various forms of music, some of them with lyres, some of them have flutes, drums, various instruments, whether it's solo members or bands. Music becomes lively, crowds become lively. The bartenders kind of break into their 2 or 3 of them behind the counter as more and more patrons start kind of flocking the bar.
Yay, barbacks.
Nox is just gonna chill,
Hey,
just
That's
biding
I will,
his time.
No, it's not.
I will probably disappear from the group for about an hour to go spend some time with the twins.
Okay.
He's going,
Which twins?
We'll get
Fong
there.
and Fong or Cicely and Kai?
Song and fun.
he's going to look over his shoulder and have fun, be safe, and then go back to just relaxing.
The bartender that you've kind of been chatting with since you've been here is, now that evening has arrived, and looks to you and like opens up his arms, and like as he does, like mugs just begin kind of floating off of the cabinet behind him and down onto the table. So, you're ready.
I've been ready. I need this.
Percy's like standing up on the bar stool next to him, like rubbing Drax's shoulders, like
You do this, big guy!
Like the
Like that.
boxing, the
You're-
manager in boxing.
buy-in entry, please.
5 gold?
Yes.
Yes. Deal.
Takes the 5 gold and he takes it and he turns and there's this large like jug of that usually has like some kind of ale in it that he turns and he drops the coins into, and you hear them kind of clink onto other coins. I explained this last time, but just for rules' sake and so you know before you begin the challenge, 5 gold entry. If you pass out or throw up or cannot finish your cup before the challenge is over, you lose, you forfeit, it is over. But if you do finish the challenge and can keep it all down, then you win the jackpot, which is however much
Gold.
is in there.
Awesome.
The bar takes a small portion, but the rest goes to you.
Fair enough.
Alright. Very well. Are you ready?
I didn't want to do this before I went to the woods.
So this will be a series of checks for you. Each check getting progressively harder. So, they are all going to be constitution checks. So, as he slides the first mug your way, you kind of sniff it, and it seems like nothing stronger than regular ale. Its first cup seems pretty light. Don't think it'll be that hard.
15. 15?
No problem. You take it and instantly just kind of down it, put the cup down, slide it, you're like, another. As he moves on to the next cup with the next liquid. Fills it, slides it your way. This one has a little bit of a darker tint to it. It looks like there's more of a concentrated alcohol in here. Go for it.
I don't like that roll.
What'd you get? 14.
Oh.
Thinking about using your inspiration?
Yes.
Tell me. You keeping the roll or you re-rolling?
Okay. That's a better roll. 22.
22? Yeah. The second one stings a little bit as it goes down, but you kind of fight it off,
Another.
push the jug aside, sets another one down. This one, bigger cup, much darker liquid, and it has this little bit of like shimmer kind of coming off the top of it.
Oh no. 10.
10? Yeah. Total?
6 for
It.
Yeah.
So close. As you pick this one up and go to drink it, as soon as the liquid hits your mouth, it is whether it's a mix of everything else that has come before this, or it's just a liquid that you've never had before, it is awful. Even for you, who has downed some of the hardest alcohol you've come across. This is just bad. Like, it doesn't, there's no taste to it. It's almost 100% alcohol. And it is just awful.
It's gasoline.
And it's, you take a drink of it and you kind of start kind of coughing a little bit as it singes its way down. You're like, take a moment to breathe. You go and you take another swig, but you can't. It hits your mouth again and you just like spit it. You don't throw up, but you spit it out. It's just, it's awful.
The poor person sitting next to you.
Probably Percy.
I just took a bath today.
You're very close. Closer than most people come. So usually people choke on the second one. You made it to the third one. It's impressive.
Not again.
So
Not this time.
you are always free to try again tomorrow.
I'm trying again right now.
Drex, why are your eyes all going cattywampus?
What?
You see three Percys. You see three Percys.
You're not drunk. It again, it tasted bad and you couldn't finish it, which is why you lost. You didn't get drunk, you didn't throw up. It was too much.
Gross. But hey, you now know what to expect next time.
Yeah.
It is a good thing you rerolled that for
Yeah.
it's 10, 15, 20.
That would be close. That 18 roll would be nice.
So
On the third one.
gotta hold it like a dwarf.
I'm pretty sure we work with melons.
Theo,
Too small.
as you go and find Fong and Fong, they are up by the door, kind of doing their greeting, hosting job. As you approach, they both kind of turn and smile. Welcome.
Hi. It's good to see you.
They both bow. It's good to see you too.
You guys got some free time?
Almost. We are in evening hours and it is quite busy. When our shift is ended, when we have more time.
Okay, sure.
Come find us in
I'll see you then.
They tell you, and you would know from last night that basically it's like the equivalent of like 9 p.m. is when they stop, and really the whole hosting thing with the doors and stuff kind of stops with them because they go from like early morning to not like super early, like it's like a 10 to 9 kind of thing, but they don't really care.
They're not the twins from The Shining where they're awake all the time.
Yes. They do have.
Thanks
have
for
time
that.
off, but it's close enough that you know
Don't do horror movies.
that time comes sooner rather than later, and eventually they come and find you.
Okay.
Here's Theo.
It would be here comes Theo, let's be real, but I digress.
Hi, Theo.
Hey, do you want to go spend some more time? I can use some more tips.
Sure. We can help you.
Sure.
They both look at each other as they speak, and then they look back to you, and they kind of offer the arms again.
I'll be with girls.
Okay, have fun.
And they take you to, if you remember, there was that like little dip in the right side of the hallway on the first floor. That was like where like employee rooms and stuff were. They take you there, which you would know because that's where you were last night too. But they take you into what is their room. It looks extremely similar to yours, which was the like deluxe suite. But they have like their like vanity that they have set up there has all sorts of different spreads of makeups and things that they use there. They have a bunch of different kimonos and outfits in the closet that is provided there. And so yeah, they walk you up to the vanity and they sit you down, and then one of them begins kind of doing the face paint and the other one starts with the lipstick.
Okay.
Is there anything you wanted to talk about, or are you just kind of hanging out with him?
We're just hanging out.
Girl
Just-
talk.
Yeah. Nothing in particular, just hanging out.
They'll ask you, where are you going next?
I'm not entirely sure. There was talk of the Heaven's Reach Mountains. But I'm not really sure exactly. I think that's where we're going next. But
Mountains are very far.
yeah. I keep seeming to get farther and farther away from the sea, which is kind of uncomfortable. But I keep a little of it with me, and I show them the necklace that has the little vial of seawater on it.
They both kind of poke their heads around and look. They smile at you.
It's very nice. Do you think you will be coming back?
I don't know. I really want to. The paths here are amazing.
Yes. They are quite famous.
What you guys have taught me so far has just been a revelation. It's opened my eyes.
Well,
They turn and they stand and they walk over to the closet, and they start kind of going through the various different kimonos that they have hung up until they both start on opposite ends and kind of inch closer together until they both kind of set their fingers on the same one, and they pull off this quite extravagant looking kimono. It's very, very, like, you can tell just by looking at it, it's like a really fine silk. And they turn and they bring it over and they kind of fold it up and set it on your lap as you're kind of sitting in the chair. And you, as you feel it, it is very, very nice silk. It's incredibly soft.
this is for festivals and other formal. Perhaps you could keep it.
Oh. Wow. Wow, this is amazing. Thank you. It feels so nice.
You are kind. Most people do not.
They kind of look to each other.
Talk to us. We are considered strange.
Well, people think that about me sometimes too, so.
Perhaps we are all strange together. Where are you from?
I'm from a little village on the Sharkskin coast.
No, that is where you were raised. Where are you from? You are different too.
Yeah, I honestly don't know. My father tells this story of finding me on the beach. I just thought he was making fun, but apparently there might be some truth to it. I mean, all the scales and gills and stuff. I mean, I always thought it was human. I grew fast, but
We are similar. We were found in the forest.
oh,
We have been here for a long time.
hell,
They kind of like look to one another with a deep thought in their eye.
Years?
do you say 100 or 100 years or 400 years? Okay. Well, I'm only 13. I can't imagine getting to 400 years.
You see a lot.
I bet. Have you ever wanted to go back?
We don't know where.
Oh.
We are not from here. Something with the forest, but what?
They both shrug their shoulders.
Unsure. The people here are nice. The atmosphere is nice.
As long as you're treated well.
No real desire to leave yet. But we are always curious.
Well, if you ever decide you want to go back, maybe I can help you. I'm a druid, so...
Maybe one day. It will give you reason to come back.
And they both kind of like smile and like each of them like pinch a corner of your cheek.
I will definitely endeavor to come back.
Alright. It has been nice chatting. And if you plan on leaving tomorrow, then have safe travels. And Tank will watch over you.
Thank you. May Elias and keep you safe.
They escort you kind of back. Now in your full get up, hair done, makeup on, outfit ready, they escort you back out to the hall, where those of you who are still in the bar, you find them there. Those who have gone back to the room. About this time it is late evening, so what have you guys been doing in the meantime?
Biding my time.
Waiting.
I'm waiting.
Very
Yes.
Percy's just been with Drex.
He's just been watching the stuff go by, kind of waiting until, just making sure everyone's... But he's also enjoying himself at the same time, listening to the music, actually relaxing. Sometimes singing along.
Percy probably every so often breaks out his harmonica and tries to get a few notes and go with the music. Probably failing poorly.
This place is amazing. We're gonna have to come back here sometime.
Oh, nice.
Thank you.
Would you like to come back?
They gave me a gift. See? And I'll hold it up.
Oh, man, I should have had the song queued up again!
So like if you hold it up and like unfold it, it unfolds into like half of it is red, but it's not like straight half and half. It's designed so like when it's folded over itself, it's like goes diagonally. So like red here, and then the other half is green, and then kind of goes on the other side. And then at the bottom around, like as a design around the base, it's got like jagged like triangles that go up and down, which is a white color.
They say this is for like holidays and special occasions.
You should take very good care of it.
I will.
And if it ever gets tattered or bendy,
Awesome.
patch it up. It's not going to be the best.
You can wear that over your Speedo.
And I open my kimono that I'm currently wearing. You mean like this?
Yes, only like
Cecily's sitting there. She's like,
Oh, you know what? Why don't you just try it on?
Oh.
not here. Maybe go change in the room and then come back.
Maybe the ladies can help you pick.
I think we should save this for.
Let's save this for when we come back.
Right.
Yeah, that sounds like a good idea.
That'll be a good special occasion.
They are very nice.
Didn't Cecily have a thing for Theo at one time?
Technically for both of them.
He is making sure
Is
the side of the
Scarlet with
kimono
Cecily?
just up over his injured half.
"What have you been doing?"
Kai has been in the middle of the main living room of the suite that they are in. She's on the floor, centered, and she's got her book open in front of her staff to the other side, the dart on the other side. and she's just been meditating. Trying her best to come to figure out what this aura is, how she can use it, if she can, like what it means for her, and focusing on her learnings and everything else.
You mean insight?
My insight's not great. Not on this character. That's an 18. I rolled a 16.
You're getting a better picture. It feels like it's there, it's in your grasp, but there's something missing. You're unsure what you're not doing that is kind of preventing you from hitting this pool that you're trying to be in, but it's there, it's close, but it's just out of reach.
Do I see that other iteration of myself again with the cloak? Or
You see the other ones.
do I see them more clearly instead of the black wisps? Still just the black wisps? Okay.
Mm-hmm.
She'll eventually kind of slowly bring herself back out of it and just kind of and then go join everybody else in the but it's been a couple of hours and everyone's probably starting to get to the point where they want to head back to the room. But she's like, I've been sitting still for like 3 hours, I'm stiff.
Start heading to the bar and everybody's heading back to the room.
Except maybe Percy.
Yeah, Percy's probably just whatever. He's going with the flow.
Is there anything anyone else would like to do?
No.
No, I imagine we're all still kind of
Tired.
like almost like jet lag from
No.
the night before.
I'm
But
still
come
exhausted.
nightfall, that's a
Isn't that
different story.
I failed because I was so exhausted from being in the woods for ever. That's what it was.
Nothing's amiss, nothing's wrong. Max is doing his usual evening routine, making sure his gear's good, going over his notes.
Make sure nobody.
Nobody's none the wiser. But the moment he knows Cecily's turned in for like sleep, he's going to just not get into her ear because he doesn't want to blow her fucking eardrums. But he's going to get pressed right into the doorway, and he's going to cast.
Kai's kind of awake and she's like, uh-oh.
Gonna
It's
cast
just pillows.
Thaumaturgy, which makes his voice 3 times as loud as he goes, "Wake up!"
So, Scarlet bolts like
Up and
up, like bangs against the ceiling, like 10 feet in the air.
Poor thing.
Cecily she shoots up out of bed, like screams. Kai, you wake up.
I was awake enough that I put pillows over my ears.
There's no way.
3 times as loud. No.
But I was awake though. I had said that I wasn't fully awake because I had just been meditating. So she's like, I'm not exactly tired.
Well, I mean, okay.
I'm not prepared for how loud it
Percy
is.
comes running in like with his slippers on and dagger in hand. What's going on?
And Knox just starts laughing his ass off, then he looks at her.
I've probably been,
Revenge is a bitch.
I've probably been scared into it.
Ow.
And when Knox says that, Percy's like
Kind of just like,
tucks his dagger back and just walks away.
Terrible, isn't it?
I didn't do anything.
No, but you ran off with her.
I was going to meditate.
Anyway, but yeah, he's gonna look at her and be like,
Guilty by association.
That's not
Your
fair.
jobs.
Just because we're identical doesn't mean I need to be lumped in with her.
don't worry, I scared everyone.
With that loud sound, we probably woke up half the hotel.
Probably.
He's gonna look at that, he's just gonna start cackling. And he's like, yeah, Revenge is a bitch.
The people in the next room
I
beat on the
remember
wall. Hey,
this.
keep it down over there!
He will look at her and he's like, I'll remember this too.
I will start plotting. Have eyes, back of your head.
He's gonna look at her, grab his
He
nose.
does. He walks with us.
No, he's got wings.
And he's gonna look at her and he's like, you can try.
Remember, we're leaving town. You're staying.
All the more time to plan.
Here's the
All
thing
the
though,
more
are you
time
gonna
for
be
me to
staying
get
at
more
the temple full
powerful.
time then?
I don't know. I might stay with Miho, I might stay at the temple, I might stay here.
I can give you some money for here, but
I've got some.
Mom and Dad also gave me my money back, so because I was trying to give them money, and they said to use it for you, so I have money to give too.
Well, if it's for me, yeah, give it to me.
Half asleep, she just reaches over and doors stuff and pulls out the packet of 100 gold.
I can stay here for a while.
Just don't stay in the suite, because the suites are expensive.
Every now and then I might stay in this week. But we can figure this out in the morning. I want to go back to bed.
Upon that, Nox is gonna laugh at them both a good night. And she's gonna
I don't know why he felt the need to do that while I was here.
push him.
Sweet.
He's gonna turn it. Whatever she can do, he can do better.
Percy makes a note to self to rig up booby traps outside his door in the future.
Nox is very petty.
Theo uses sheep water to count the sheep until he goes to sleep.
That person has count dolphins.
Joe, right when you fall asleep, the water just goes right there.
What? Oh.
Start over!
No, before going to bed, Nox would probably actually sing a lullaby in Celestial for people, kind of as an apology for being a petty bitch, but also not an apology for being a petty bitch.
Okay. Really.
But it's just a soothing melody to try and lull people into sleep. And just when you guys speak Celestial, I have no idea what he's singing.
Give me a bit and I'll understand any spoken language.
So, as the night passes, if any of you need it, you may take a long rest again.
Oh yeah.
We
are getting some serious sleep time.
Getting ready for the next day, which is now, I believe, the
15th of Leviar.
To go meet the princess.
You start pulling yourselves out of bed, getting ready to go and meet with Miho and see the princess of whom you've saved. And we will go ahead and pick up there next week.